And guess what? We
We're
is
live.
live.
We're live.
Wake up. I, we were talking and he said, be fake. No, I ain't fake with my fun. My fun ain't fake.
The fun ain't fake.
Welcome to Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense.
Plus mo.
Plus Mo. So we have an accent this today. Is it our
I know
accent?
we're just starting out with accent. We got it. We okay. All right. Welcome
But
to
it
the
is but it is a fake accent.
It is fake. Well, it's real when it's real, but it's fake when it's fake.
Get it? Mother and son making sense out of nonsense plus Mo. I'm going to kick it off with some information that I just learned before we get to the word of the day, if you don't mind. Watch this. This is called, have you ever heard of red light on your phone?
No.
I was watching a video with Rick Rubin, Rubin, who is a very famous producer, known globally. He's worked with the biggest names, and he's very zen. When he has interviews, he sits with his legs crossed. He's a zen kind of cool kind of cat. And he always wears these red glasses. And he said, "Yeah, well, in the evening, I turn everything, all these the phones onto a red light." Here we go. Watch this. And it helps with calming yourself, melatonin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
here we go.
Let's see it. Oh, very interesting. Well,
So
yeah.
so at night, after certain, he said 6 o'clock, all of his devices are red. And you can go online on YouTube and because it's a shortcut. I mean, I did it a couple nights ago, and I don't know if I'm imagining things, but I thought I slept a lot better with my lips taped, no mouth breathing, and the red light.
Well, I'm gonna have to absolutely copycat on you like I've copycatted you on so many things in my life to only improve it and make it so much better. I will, and yes, you all heard that. Don't make me repeat it. But
I was
yes,
gonna, I was gonna say, can you repeat that? I wasn't listening.
it's unrepeatable if it's even true in the next moment. No, it is very true. Red light, copycat. I also have blue blocker glasses, and I wear those at night if I'm looking at a screen. I don't know if it helps, but it's supposed to block the lights that keep us awake, that might be harmful to our vision. Just soften it.
Well, this enhances melatonin. 3 clicks.
Well, all right.
It's yeah. Okay, and word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
My word of the day is salient, spelled Salient. Have you heard of that word before, Nathan?
No, no, I have not.
Oh, well,
Salient. Salient.
Salient.
most noticeable or important. It succinctly covered all the salient points of the case. So, salient means important. What does it mean to be salient? Standing out conspicuously, prominent, especially of notable significance. Sounds like me.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, but yeah, that sounds like you would consider yourself a salient person.
Not consider.
No, to be salient.
Yes, I'm very salient.
And you've been saliently talking for most of this program. So I'll jump in for my word of the day, which is effusive.
What?
Effusive.
Spell it, please.
EFFU
Excuse me.
You are-
F you.
EFFUSIVE.
Effusive. And effusive to you too.
Effusive.
And it means expressing feelings of gratitude, pleasure, or approval in an unrestrained or heartfelt manner. So it sounds like an FU word, but it's actually quite the opposite.
I like that word,
Yes.
effusive. But can you put it in a sentence, please?
Right. Well, let's see here. Effusive, adjective. So it's an adjective. So I effusively speak about I effusively speak about my mother often because I love her so much.
Oh, almost. Well, I'm going to have to say that you have been a salient part of my life for 39 years.
All right. Good words.
Yes.
Now what?
Well, you said I was talking too much, so I'm going to be quiet.
We have a whole show to get to. So, well, if you're quiet and then I'm talking, then I will bring up a topic, which is the topic is constant connection. Connection meaning source, mysterious source, the universe, God, angels, fairies, anything that entity that has so many names. And I wrote constant connection because there are moments where I intentionally talk to that entity and listen back. And then most of the day isn't spent doing that, but I'm still connected. And that's really my topic is how do we do that? And
We?
right, we. Well, you want me to talk about me?
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, how do I do that? And then is there a difference? Is this show created just so you could bother me in front of other people instead of bothering me in private?
Yes.
Good answer.
May I comment on your constant
Connection. Yes.
You mentioned that you talk to the universe, wherever you want to call it, universe, God, source, periodically. I talk to the universe all the time. I might as well be a crazy person. I've had conversation with the universe all day long. All day long, it's a conversation. Thank you, universe. No, thank you. What a jerky thing to do, universe. I hate you, universe. Thank you, universe. I love you all day, all day.
So, okay, talking all day, and that's different than talking to yourself, right?
Talking to myself, that's a really good point. Because now you're piggybacking on one of my topics, which is what is consciousness anyway? What is being conscious? I was listening to this guy. His name is Sam Harris, and he happens to be an atheist, but he's very he studies consciousness, and he's really, I really like him. His topics on meditation. He really is a meditation fanatic. But one of the things he said is when you're talking or thoughts and all that, he says you might as well be dreaming. That's how crazy it is when he says crazy it is. It's the same as being in a dream. You're not being conscious.
You're talking about when you're meditating.
No, I'm talking about throughout the day, because you asked
Oh,
me,
okay.
is that conscious? So my
Oh,
conversation with the universe, if I am the universe, scratch that, because I am the universe, I'm having conversations, conscious. I call them conscious conversations. And it, for me, it helps me to practice living in and staying in the present moment.
so many good things. I really love coming back to the present moment in dialogue, meditating, mindfulness, all these words that we have, dreamlike state, awareness, yoga, all of it for me to help simplify it all, to come back to the moment. And for me, the mind can go anywhere. The mind is infinite of where it can go as far as thoughts about anything, any timeline, people and places that aren't here in the moment. So yeah, all of this to stay in the moment, and not as a confining thing, because that can feel confining for me, sounds confining to me. It actually has freedom, and there's nothing confining about the moment. It's very free.
And if I'm in the moment, if I'm presently in the moment, there is absolutely nothing that bothers me, annoys me, uh, pushes my buttons, because all those pushing buttons is because of the past. If I'm really, when I do practice, and it's not an easy practice, staying in the moment, there is no past to reference why I'm bothered.
So I'm not bothered by you if now, it's just because I've been bothered by you in the past.
Exactly. And this is going to jump, if you don't mind, can we jump to
Please
another
jump.
topic?
Yes.
Yes, this is another topic. This is a topic, and I'm going to need you, only because I like you a lot. Look, I put a straw in my water bottle just for the jokes. Thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to put on your seatbelt for this.
All right.
Quick story. At night, Vegas is a bright town. It's not like living in the middle of the forest where it's pitch black. So my neighbor has this bright light, a porch light, side door light that comes on every night. I don't know, 8 o'clock, and it's so bright it lights up the bathroom. And then I have not a skylight, but a sun window. And I can, when when I'm going to sleep, the whole bathroom is bright. I don't even need to turn on a light. So what do I do? What do I do about that? Hi, little girls. What do I do about that? Do I tell my neighbor that they need to turn the light down, or can you turn the light down? Because that's bothering. My story is, it bothers. And then sleeping, I want it dark as possible. Or do I have an option? Go over there at night, break the light myself, just break it, or unloosen the bulb. Or do I just put up the black plastic just to block all the light out? Do I do that myself? Anytime I have an issue that's bothering me, asking someone else to do something so I'm not bothered, I'm going to guarantee that my peace is going to be in the hands of someone else. And you asked me a couple of things the last couple of weeks about don't do this and don't do that. And I have no problem not doing it. But what I'm saying is, either if I have to ask you to not do something or not say something, now I'm anxious, because what if you forget, or what if you say something, or say it anyway? So it comes down to either, and I'm going to wrap it up, either I am a star or a sun, which is a self-contained energy, or a planet that needs the sun. So to be a self-contained energy, it's my responsibility to take care of my peace. If I put somebody else if I put someone else, if I make someone else responsible for my peace, I'm going to have a problem eventually.
I totally agree with that. If I let someone else or something else outside of me be in charge of my peace, I won't have peace. Self-contained. The one thing that I will add is just they're being playful this morning.
Hi, little
Right now.
girls.
The only thing I'll add is I don't have to get anyone to do anything for me, but I do get to ask. I can do that. And I can ask anything of anyone. I just don't have any guarantees that it's going to produce any results that I like. And even if it does produce results I like, I still might not have peace. So, because I thought about it, and then my request to you this week, and okay, but it is such a game. We talked about, I don't know, last week or one of our shows, talking about it being a game and figuring it out. And I'm not asking, I'm not saying anything, I'm not asking, I'm not saying anything. Well, I do get to ask, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm still bothered. Maybe it becomes a running joke, like so many of my requests have become to you, where it's become such a joke that I just renege and go back to what it was before. And or whatever. We'll see what happens. And I love what you said about now the other person is in charge of my peace, because that will really never work.
Yes. And I wrote, let me just make sure. Okay. This is what I want to say, because I wrote some notes on this topic, that the ego wants someone else involved in my happiness. But in reality, the ego is creating drama. So if anyone is contributing to your happiness, if you need them to contribute to your if you need them to contribute to your peace, you will not find peace. And I know I said I wasn't going to bring it up again, and I'm not going to bring it up specifically, and I'm just because the ask is very simple. The ask is very simple, very small. It's just not, don't text this or don't say that anymore. I'm just going to throw it back on me, is that if there is anything that bothered me or bugged me about you, it's my job to get over it, even though one of those things, and it's just a word, it's just a phrase. It was my job to get over it for 2 years, maybe 3 years, to the point where I can laugh at it. No, it took that long, at least 2 years. But I'm willing to take that journey because it's on me. But okay.
Right. Well, I think they're two different things. I think there's the putting someone else in charge of my inner peace. No one can do that for me.
Or buttons. Or your buttons.
Or buttons. Yeah, don't do this button. I have a button, so don't do this.
Yeah, don't push this button, because this pushes my button, so don't push that button.
Well, more softly said, is this pushes my button, and I'd like you to know that it pushes my button. Not even a don't do this. You might not even know. Well, you really won't know unless you unless it's said. So you talk about loving each other, loving. What does love mean? And love, I don't think is do this, don't do this. This is how do this better. Don't. Love is this is who I am. I mean, my buttons are pushed. That's just what's going on. I can't talk about faking it. This is what's happening in my body. Whether it's done or not is, I think, almost a separate issue. I actually could have said in our conversation, hey, heads up, my button's pushed. And that's all I needed to say.
Okay, and then we're going to move on to another topic. But you've given me 2 assignments not to do anymore. And then that one. And I am not responsible for your buttons. Your buttons are your responsibility to either get over. I'm just letting you know that I love you, and I will, if I know something bothers you, of course, I'm not going to do it, but I am not responsible. And then there's going to put your seatbelt on. There's going to be a time when you elevate to my level, and then you get to a point where I'm going to be responsible for my buttons. Next topic.
It must have been a joke, but it wasn't funny. So anyways, yes. And now, and yes. Next topic. Good. I get it. No, you're not responsible. And
next topic.
All right. We're getting spicy. Let's cool it off a little bit.
That includes no wrapping up. No.
All right. No, next topic.
First of all, I really like you.
I like you too, and I do like that you think that you're at a different level than me.
No, I don't think that. Serenity now.
Serenity now.
Serenity now. I just watched Seinfeld yesterday. Serenity now. And I was chuckling, laughing like crazy.
Really?
Serenity now. Oh, pardon?
I miss Seinfeld. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Causes. I'm going to have to say that I was caught up. The universe did a alley-oop. I'm softening my attachment to having a cause, having a belief that one side is better than the other, than one side is more valuable than the other, than one side is morally better, all of that. I'm softening all of that up, because all causes subtract from contentment. I don't care what kind of cause it is, it subtracts. Having a preference. And then the universe hit me with something that was stuck in my craw for decades. I don't know if you know this, but you know who died 2 days ago?
I do, yes. I was gonna text you, yeah.
That goddamn OJ. And double a murderer. And when it happened, I watched the whole trial. I was engulfed, and I couldn't stand, it's the whole thing. I couldn't stand anyone that didn't believe that he murdered those 2 people. I mean, I lost friendships. If it wasn't a good friendship. Anyway, I lost people because of that. People, and you think he's innocent with all the forensics evidence? And one of my friends texted me, and he was making a joke. And I don't think anything about O.J. Simpson is funny. But the ego had me trapped again. There's nothing funny about this man that brutally murdered 2 people. But you fear the seriousness in my voice and my energy. It was just another carrot that the universe or the ego put in front of me to let me know that even that has to be let go. Even that is not serious. All of this is meaningless until my ego gives it a meaning and a judgment.
Yeah, and it's so personal. It's so personal to you. It's so personal to me. It's such a very personal, and it's ongoing. And I think this is related to what we were just talking about, preferences, and do I have a preference? I do have a preference. Where are these preferences even coming from? And then if I do get my preference, then I'm acting a certain way. Then if I don't get it, I'm acting or believing a certain way. It's just feels like a lot of yo-yoing emotionally, when that yo-yo is it feels destructive to my well-being, and I'm the one doing the yo-yo. I'm the one. I'm up and then I'm down, and I got what I wanted and I didn't get what I wanted. And so what if I just didn't? I'm listening to you, and I'm just thinking, trying to get really nuanced with what I'm even talking about with the preferences, because I feel almost almost not in control of my preferences. Like with the buttons. Am I in control of my buttons? It doesn't feel like it. But what I am in control of, what feels like, is, okay, the button was pushed, and now what do I do? What do I do now in this moment? I mean, really, if we want to get nitpicky with the moments, a button is pushed in a moment, and then it's already the next moment. So I think there's something onto what you said about it being in the past. Button was pushed, but now it's a new moment. And just being open. Maybe it can pass really quickly.
It can
It
with
can.
practice. Well, you said so many salient things. I want to go back to first of all, the moment. Now you just said so many things. Yesterday, I went out and I took the trash out. I don't keep trash in the house. I go and I dump the trash. And one of my favorite places to dump trash is Costco parking lot, and nobody cares. You just dump the trash there. And last night, it was a Friday night, 8:30 in the evening. Parking lot's almost empty. I get out of the car and I dump the trash, and then I hear one of the workers, one of the workers who was collecting the baskets, "Ma'am, you're not supposed to be dumping your own personal trash in our trash cans." So I felt crispy. That's one of our unique words. Crispy is the same as embarrassed, taken off guard. Crispy. I felt crispy. And then she kept going on, and she says, even if you ask a supervisor, you can talk to a supervisor, they'll tell you the same thing. This is not for your personal trash can. So I was feeling crispy, 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 Krispy Kreme. And then I asked, how long is this crispiness going to last? Can I practice getting from crispy into back to a set point of neutrality, which is something that you said I wanted to touch on, of neutrality, meaning my energy is neutral. It doesn't matter if my buttons are pushed. It doesn't matter what happens to me if I remain in a neutral state. And it's difficult. It's not easy to do, but in a difficult, neutral energy state, that whatever comes at me doesn't take me here or there. If I practice staying neutral, then I'm not going to be doing this.
I was thinking of criticism, self-criticism, and I'm watching that for myself. Not really. No, it feels in a cousin of crispy. It feels like a mini crispy, and it really happens. It can happen almost any time over anything, and sometimes it does last many moments. And there is a belief that I have, a program belief that I have, that if I spend enough time self in criticism, whether it's from myself or someone else, if I spend enough time, then I have earned the right to be at peace. Now I can be at peace because I paid my dues being criticized. And that's not true.
That's really fascinating. I've never heard that take before.
Yeah. And it's new for me. This is very fresh. So I'm just speaking it out loud and sitting with it. I'm just wondering, what are those moments when you said, how long is this Christmas going to last? What are these moments where I am in that energy? Is this something I'm just used to? Because talk about the past, it does seem, when I look at my past for clues and data, I can many moments of nurturing that belief that I need to pay my dues with criticism. And that does, it's so deep. And it doesn't mean I don't trying to think of an example. There's so many examples. I can still do something differently. I can things can change, but what is the purpose of that? Shaming, criticism, self-judgment, feeling guilty. So yeah, that's what I'm sitting with.
Wow, that was some good stuff. Really good stuff. And number one, you're right, it is a program. Number two, our friend told me a long time ago, years ago, everything you do, you get an A plus. And at first I didn't like it, wasn't jiving with it. No, that doesn't make sense. But Nathan, I give myself an A plus for everything that happens. A plus, to the point where it's automatic now. It's as automatic as me breathing. Oh, you get an A plus. Even the trash taken out and getting chastised. A plus for the response, A plus for feeling crispy, A plus for being self-aware. And let me just give you an A plus for the self-awareness. Number one, of the awareness is the work. Even when you were talking about, you said you've paid your dues, and so that paying your dues. Oh, that's Roseburg, Oregon. My blueberries. When are they going to be ready to pick in July? Blueberries. I live for those blueberries. What was I saying? Even the awareness of just lessening the amount. So you sit in self-criticism, and then you've paid your dues. Okay, so you've paid your dues for, I don't know, say 5 hours, and then you pay your dues for an hour, and then you pay your dues for a half hour, and then you pay your dues for 20 minutes, and then you pay your dues for 2 minutes, and you pay your dues for 30 seconds. I mean, it just lessens and lessens with the awareness. And that's the work. Just the awareness that you even said it.
I love all of that. The practice, lessening. I'm thinking what the paying my dues, that self-criticism voice will go on as long as I'm willing to listen. It's never going to stop. I mean, I'm picturing myself in a room with a person with that voice. Nathan, you didn't do this. Actually, one of my now I'm thinking of one of my themes this week was to listen to the voices in my head. Some of them are criticizing, some of them are encouraging, and everything in between. Just listen to them And I don't think that they ever stop talking. I think they're just blah, 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 blah. You didn't do this, you didn't do that. And now you have to worry about this, and you should be afraid of this, and you did that wrong. And remember that thing 5 years ago. It's just on and on and on and on and on. So if I'm waiting for that criticism voice to stop, now I'm fucked too. It's up to me. So and this is what I wanted to say of when you're saying 5 hours, 2 hours, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Awareness. This voice is not me at my core. It's a separate voice, a separate entity. Am I aware of that? And that awareness, oh, I'm aware of that again. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm aware. I mean, awareness, talk about something that's constant. But I think that awareness, oh, this voice is not me. It's the criticism voice. And I'm either going to step out of the room, put my earplugs in, maybe listen and laugh. Like you said, be entertained. Who says, why can't I listen to the, like you said with the message with me? You weren't into it. And then, I don't know if you said this. Well, I think you did say it started making you laugh. How is that even
After 3 years.
After 3 years? Well, listen, I'm working on 30 years with you. And there are some things that are funny.
Aren't you 39?
Yes. I wasn't bothered right away.
Oh, it took time.
It took time, honey. So yeah.
Well, let me
Yeah.
say this about what you're talking about. Let me just say this.
Yes, please.
There's a scientific study. You can Google it. Cells, amoebas, I don't know what the hell but the atoms, I don't know what, protons, but they behave differently when they are watched. They behave differently when they are observed. And it's the same with the ego. Not to say that it doesn't stop, but it behaves differently when it's being watched. Most program people do. They behave differently if somebody's watching them. So I just say, just know that the awareness is the work. And like you said, you're witnessing the voice, you're witnessing it as opposed to identifying with it.
I love that.
And that's why I'm on a not higher level, but a different level than you.
Well, I can't disagree with you on being on a different level. That's for sure. I can't disagree with that. Yeah. Different, witness, watch. All I have to do is watch. And I'll say there's another entity in me that behaves like the spiritual guru that knows what's going on, and that's an entity to be watched also. I am saying that because I'm just yeah. I'm saying that because when you say awareness is the work, witnessing is the work. That sounds so simple and easy and quick and very doable. And then that voice that behaves like the spiritual entity says, well, you've got it. There's awareness is just step one. Now you've got to write about it. Now you've got to think about it. Now you've got to wonder about it. You've got a lot of work to do after awareness. And it sounds convincing, but that's a voice too. It's all ego.
That voice that now you have more work to do is just more ego. Mm-hmm. And so now, thank you, ego. Now I'm aware, and now you're telling me I have more work to do. Thanks, ego. Thank you for your suggestion, but F you, just like your word today. What was it?
F you and effusive.
Effusive, F you, ego, effusive. Yes.
Effusive. I will effusively listen to you because I F you in the most loving way. I love you, ego, and I see you.
Yeah, and I know what you're about. So I want to ask you, how do you feel when you give do you even think that's a practice that you would want to engage in? You get an A+ for everything, or you're one of the camp that no, I don't like that.
No, I do like that. I would just phrase it a little differently, but I
How?
love
How?
right. A+ for everything. Well, how I see it is there is
Oh, I dropped something.
you asked me the question. There is acceptance for me. There's a vibration of acceptance for me all the time. And that's how I would phrase it. It's just am I willing to accept that there is acceptance for me? Don't want to say love. I was tempted to say love, but I don't want to even say love. But acceptance. And I do want to throw this at you because I think this is a biggie. So you can put your seatbelt on, Missy.
It's always on, baby. Let's go.
Okay, well, just be
What you
careful.
got?
Make sure you're always strapped in.
What you got? What you got? What
Well,
he got? What he got? Hold on.
well,
Where's my cough button? Go ahead.
need some time to formulate this. I don't even know what the questioner is, but the topic is coming back to OJ and his horrendous, unforgivable, terrible act and behavior. And is there acceptance around that? What about that self-criticism voice in his head for himself, or other self-criticism? And yeah, because that's so easy to criticize.
Well, back up, because you said unforgivable. That's the ego. That would be my ego. Oh, he's unforgivable. See, I'm now it's even gone even further, because I'm making a judgment. That's what I'm saying. I used to make judgments, but now I'm making a judgment about a murderer. I can't do that anymore on this level. Do you know what NDE? NDE, it's a near-death experience. Have you watched any videos on YouTube with these near-death experience people?
No, I can't say that I have.
I've been watching it. I've been watching a few of them. In fact, I played one in my class, The Truth About Happiness. Hi, little girls. I played it, and it's about people that have had near-death experiences. One guy, he's in his 90s. One lady, she's in her 40s. A black guy. I mean, if you go on YouTube and search near-death experiences, there's just a multitude. This is my point. So I played it in class, and all of the stories have similar they've experienced similar things. They die. They're looking down on their body. They get out of their body. They go down a tunnel or wherever they go, and they see these bright lights, and all they feel is this love. You've heard about that. They feel just and it's indescribable love, acceptance. All their pain is gone, and it's just a beautiful, in my opinion, stories. And then someone asked me in class, well, what about the murders? What about Hitler? What about the OJs? What about these people that have murdered thousands of other people? Do they get to experience that too? That love and that light? And the truth is yes. So the going back to unforgivable, if I'm scratch that, if when I'm practicing, they all get to experience that. As unfair as it is.
Absolutely. Well, unfair. I like that word, and that's a human word and a human theme. And it is when you talk about OJ and the trial, all this evidence and the fairness, the justice, all of this doesn't equal this. That ego, that human mindset it's really not capable of understanding what the universe is even about, because the universe doesn't do fair. Well, the dinosaurs are here, now they're not. Well, Pluto is on the end of the solar system, and Mercury's the closest. There's nothing fair or unfair about it. It's just the way it is. And the human mind is it just doesn't it doesn't work that way.
It's so limited. It's so programmed, so limited. You talk about the dinosaurs are here. This is something I just was reading. The timeline of mass extinctions on Earth. Do you realize there's been at least 5 extinctions already? And then what does it say? About 98% of all organisms that have existed on the planet, 98% are all extinct today.
Yeah, including maybe humans in their time. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But
Yes.
that won't be up to us. That will be up to however the universe flows with it. And anyway, that's a real thing to put in your pipe and smoke and bake the noodle with.
I'm about to, and let me just say last thing about that OJ, and this reason, one of the reasons why it was personal to my ego. One of my friends, high school, we've reconnected and we chat. One of the there's about 3 people that graduated the same year that are prominent. I would say prominent. And one of the people that graduated my year, Carl Douglas, was one of OJ's attorneys. And so my friend texts me, Douglas and his mother's 98. I said, I don't care. And because we just had our 50th reunion, high school reunion, and I didn't go. And I said, if I had gone to that reunion, because Carl Douglas was there, I would have given him a piece of my mind. How the hell can you defend a double murder? All of that. So it just brought back, but see, the ego knows what kind of carrot to put in front of me. Now it was OJ. I mean, I was so invested, and then it's another carrot I have to let go.
It's a life of carrots. It's a lifetime of personalized, customized, just for me carrots all around here. And my journey that I like being on, that I've accepted, is moving through all the carrots to get to the real carrot, honey. The carrot that's not a carrot.
What?
Right. Well, I guess in those terms, just the real nourishment, nutrients, the thing that's really going to, wow, they're just really going at it.
And you know what? I want to ask you too, for next week, can we put a bullet? I would like to know what you've learned from those cats.
That's a good one. Yes, let's do that.
Let me see one of them, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and then we
have to go. Cash is
wrap it up. And there's
I love those little girls.
Gardeners here today.
Oh, hi, little girly girl. Hey, little girly girl.
When we do the show, they're asleep when we talk, but not today.
Hi, little girl.
Well, what a great show again.
Yes. And thank you for giving a little bit behind the scenes of the girls that I'm talking about. I have 2 granddaughters, Luna and Lexi.
That's right. Well, this was Mother and Son making sense out of nonsense.
Plus more.
Plus more.
Plus more. And I can't wait until plus more next week, next day. Thank you for watching and subscribe. And thank you, viewers. I see we're getting more viewers. Thank you, viewers. Oh, how did you
do that on purpose? I didn't even do it on purpose, but yeah, you can do it with the 2 thumbs up.
Mine isn't working.
Well, you have to hold it in the frame. There you go. Oh no, it doesn't work. Maybe because you're on a computer. Well, I'll just
Maybe
do it
that.
for Yeah.
Do it for me, please. That's the end of the show. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Whew.